And we're live. Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's had a wonderful evening and a good day so far. We will be in Mark chapter 12 still, but be in verses 13 through 27. So let's jump right on in. It says, Next, they sent some Prushim and some members of Herod's party to him in order to trap him with a Shelah. What does that say in the King James? Verse 13.
Get it where I can see it. And when they were come, they say unto him, Master. And
No. Verse 13.
I'm in verse 13.
No, that's 14. You started.
Huh?
That's 14.
No.
Okay, what does your verse 12 say then?
That's verse 13. 12 says, and they sought to lay hold
Nope.
on him.
The very next verse.
In chapter 12. That's where I am.
Okay. Anyway, we'll go ahead and go with
It
14.
says,
Anyway, that is the
tribute.
Pharisees and members of Herod's party were going to trap him with.
Right, and that's what it says in the end of it. He didn't let me finish it.
But verse 14 starts out, they came and said to him, Rabbi, we know that you tell the truth and are not concerned with what people think about you. Since you pay no attention to a person's status, but really teach what God's way is, does Torah say that taxes are to be paid to the Roman emperor or not? But he, knowing their hypocrisy, said to them, Why are you trying to trap me? Bring me a denarius so I can look at it. They brought one, and he asked them, Whose name and picture are these? The emperor's, they replied. Yeshua said, Give the emperor what belongs to the emperor, and give to God what belongs to God. And they were amazed at him. He wasn't telling them that they had to pay taxes. What he was telling them, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and give unto God what is God's. Right. Our bodies belong to God.
And that's one of the two times he uses the word marveled.
Right.
In the King James.
And, and that's what we're to give to God. We are to give of ourselves to God. Taxes are taxes. That helps with roads, water, electricity, all the stuff, all the utilities and stuff that we have to have. So really, it's not against God to do that. But they were trying to trap him in that. Then some of the Sadducees came to him. They're the ones who say there's no such thing as a resurrection. That's the Sanhedrin. The Sadducees, of the Sanhedrin. So they put him to question. Rabbi, Moses wrote for us that if a man's brother dies and leaves a wife but no child, his brother must take the wife and have children to preserve the man's family line. There were 7 brothers. The first one took a wife. When he died, he left no children. Then the second one took her and died without leaving children. The third likewise, and none of the 7 left children. Last of all, the woman also died. In the resurrection, whose wife will she be? For all 7 had her as a wife. I love this one. Yeshua said to them, Isn't this the reason that you go astray? Because you are ignorant both of the Torah and of the power of God. For when people rise from the dead, neither men nor women marry. They are like angels in heaven. Not angels in heaven, like angels in heaven. And as for the dead being raised, haven't you read the book of Moses in the passage about the bush? How God said to him, I am the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. He is God not of the dead, but of the living. You are going far astray. And in that, the reason he said that they're going astray, because they're speaking of the dead. And God is not a God of the dead. He is a God of the living. And he proves it right there with Moses actually saying, I'm the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Meaning that they're in paradise. They're alive in paradise. Their spirit still lives. And they had the opportunity to hear the gospel when Jesus went down to paradise.
Right.
And but they're always trying to trap him with silly questions. And the whole thing, and what I love is that they admitted in here that he only teaches God's ways.
Right.
So if he's only teaching God's ways, why are they trying to trap him in blasphemy? Because one, they don't like that he healed on the Sabbath. They don't like that he breaks bread with tax collectors and prostitutes and lowlifes,
As they call him, the dregs of
the dregs of Capernaum. Um, he healed on the Shabbat. He let his people pull grain on the Shabbat because they were so hungry.
So hungry.
And he claimed the title Son of Man. And that threatens their very existence, that someone is teaching these things and claiming the messianic title. Whole thing is if they would have read the prophecies correctly, they would have seen that he definitely is the Messiah.
They were looking for the Messiah just like everyone else.
But they weren't looking in the right place. They were thinking, oh, he came from Nazareth, and that's not what it says. They didn't even ask him where he was born.
Right. He was born in Bethlehem.
He was born in Bethlehem.
Right where that prophecy says.
And he went to Egypt just like the prophecy says.
Right.
And then he went and went to Nazareth to grow up. But they always said, Nazareth? What good can come from Nazareth? You know, that was their response to Nazareth.
Yeah, nothing good can come from Nazareth.
Right. You know, and they just didn't believe that it could have been him. But if they would have asked him the correct questions, like, where were you born?
Right.
What is your lineage?
Never asked it.
And he is of the lineage in the house of Judah and of the line of David. It's just straight through. I mean, right on through there. I mean, Luke gives us and Matthew gives us the lineage just perfect right on down the line. So, but they didn't ask those questions. And he would have answered them truthfully, but they weren't interested in seeing the Messiah. They were interested in protecting their way of life. And he was threatening it. Now, after the resurrection, yes, some of the Pharisees followed him. But the overall religious leaders erased him from history. Tried to. Erased him from Jewish history. Isaiah 53 is a forbidden book in Israel. The name Yeshua is not spoken in Israel. Matter of fact, we know a good rabbi friend that he said he was 27 before he ever heard the name Yeshua.
Right. Changed his life.
Changed his life. You know, they say Yash, but they don't ever say Yeshua. I need Kleenex. Okay. Just throw it here. I don't care. Sorry about that. But every time we read when the Pharisees meet him, they're trying to trap him. Even when they arrest him, they don't even ask him the right questions. They ask him questions to their benefit, not to the innocence of the person. And the way that trial, I mean, there's so many illegal things about that trial, it's unreal. There's a whole study on that.
We'll get into that soon.
But he didn't tell people they had to pay taxes.
No.
He said, just give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. And give unto God what is God's. And as far as the heavenly things, when we pass from this life into the next, when we go into be with him in glory, he is the bridegroom. I will know my wife, but I won't know my wife. I won't know her as my wife. I will just know her. Do you understand what I'm saying? I will know my children that make it. I will know my family, but I won't know them as, because We have the bridegroom that we're
Right. We're the bride.
we're the bride. So there's no marrying in heaven except to the bridegroom. And that's it. I mean, it's plainly stated many times in Scripture. We don't go to heaven and have a little house with our wife and family and all. No, that's not how it works. Yes, there are many rooms, and he goes and prepares one for us. Not our own house, not our own cabin, a room in the mansion of the Father. And
What
that's
he says, I have gone to prepare a room for you.
yep. And that's the New Jerusalem that comes down. That's actually the New Jerusalem is the house of the Father, and it gives the measurements in the Bible, and it's very very large. Matter of fact, it'll actually go above the clouds and everything, but it'll be a new heaven, new earth, and they come together. And at that point in time, we will go in and out of the gates and be with Him. I don't know why you'd want to leave the gates. I hadn't figured that one out yet.
I don't know. It's going to be a beautiful earth, too.
We'll figure that out when we get there. So.
Right.
But on that note, tomorrow night we'll pick up.
Finished
Huh?
through 27.
We just did through
No, you
27.
didn't.
Yes, you should have said to them, this is the reason you go astray. You are going far astray was the final words I said. He is God not of the dead, but of the living. You are going astray. We finished it.
Reading those.
I read them. And on that note, we'll pick up at 28 tomorrow, and y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. God bless. I forgot to share it with the church page. It's okay, I'll do it here.
Are you off?
I am